What do you want to know about polynomials? Hi, I'm Sarah. I've been a math and science teacher for 20 years. I'm here to make math engaging and fun and not so scary. If you're interested in in-person tutoring, Zoom tutoring, or micro tutoring through Cameo, click the link and do the stuff. So polynomials, poly means many. Nomials, when we're talking about math terms and things like that, we're talking about just terms. So polynomials are typically you just talk about with expressions. There are equations, but we can just do expressions. We're not going to worry about solving polynomial equations yet because it's kind of crazy. If we have 2x minus 3x times x squared plus 4x minus x squared. Okay. This is a polynomial. It's got a lot of different terms. Okay, now a term is something that's being separated by adding and subtracting. So this 2x cubed is a term. It's joined by multiplication. So multiplication makes a term, but adding and subtracting separates them. So in this case, this is not a simplified polynomial. I need to simplify it. And what simplifying means is that I'm going to combine any like terms that I have. So like terms are the same variable to the same power. So like this x squared, okay, they're the same variable to the same power. But the problem right now is that this x squared is in those parentheses and I can't get it out yet. So the first thing I'm going to do on this is I'm going to distribute. So I'm going to distribute this negative 3x. Okay, and distribution, the distributive property is just multiplying over addition or subtraction. So now on my next line, where'd my black marker go? There it is. Okay. So I get 2x cubed. So negative 3x times x squared is minus x cubed. Ooh, I got some like terms right there. I'll take care of them in a minute. Negative 3x times positive 4x is minus 12x squared. Now that negative 3x is only distributing here. Those parentheses end the distribution. And now, so this minus x squared is still just minus x squared. Nothing's happened to it. Okay, so now we combine the like terms. Okay, so again, like terms are anything with the same variable to the same power. So x to the third and x to the third. If I have 2 of x cubed and I take away 3x cubed, I'm actually down 1 x cubed, right? So this is negative 1 x cubed. There's a little invisible 1 there in front of the variable. Then I've got negative 12x squared minus x squared. Well, that is minus 13x squared. So now I don't have any other simplification that I can do. An x cubed is different from an x squared. Okay, it's sort of like a box versus a piece of paper. They're not the same thing, right? They're not even really similar, right? Because the box is like a solid, right? And the piece of paper is just a piece of paper. Okay. So I can't combine these together, right? So this is my simplified polynomial. Now with this, the fact that I've got this negative x cubed minus 13x squared, it's really nice because it has simplified down from this really long, complicated expression down to really just 2 terms. Now, yes, I could factor out an x squared, absolutely. If I were wanting to factor this, or if I were moving on to kind of solving this, I might need to factor it out. But for just simplifying, simplifying means that I don't want any parentheses and I don't want any uncombined like terms. But as was pointed out, so this would be in the simplest form. But you're absolutely right. I could, if I were needing to factor it, right? I would actually take out a negative x squared. I could take out a negative x squared, and that would leave me with x plus 13. So if I had to factor these, this would be my factoring. So if I had this equals 0, right? If you're thinking about zero product property, I could do that. Yeah. Okay. So this was a pretty complicated polynomial. But really the main thing for you to remember, with the big takeaway with polynomials, is you can always multiply things together. You can multiply anything together that you really want to, or that you need to. The only thing that's a little bit tricky is adding and subtracting. Those are the only two things that you have to be really careful about with combining them. That's Mathed Up.